Welcome back to the Toll Road, a zone lock challenge where we earn the gold and pay the toll to unlock the next zone. Last episode in Tirisfal Glades we collected 8,000 gold and paid the toll. We did that with 7.5 hours of farming, herbs, ores, 2 wispy cloaks and also 2 ruffian belts of the Aurora sitting on the auction house still ready to go. But the toll is paid, so it is time to spin the wheel and see where the road is taking us. We have 4 options available: Silverpine Forest, Western Plaguelands, Stranglethorn Vale and Dorotar. And there we go, we have a winner. It's going to be Dorotar. So for the second time we step through the portal to Orgrimmar. Here it is, the gates of Orgrimmar, opening up to the orange landscape of Dorotar. This will be another 8,000 gold toll, so one might say we got lucky with the wheel, as we also open up for our first alternative character. But for now, let's just explore Dorotar a bit and see what we have to work with in terms of earning some gold. Looking at the map, we seem to have a slight add-on issue with Gathermate 2 not showing ores here in Dorotar. That is annoying, but yeah, ores might also not be the best thing to farm without blacksmithing, so we likely will be doing a mixed route with herbs and maybe a bit of ore in there. There are only 5 rare spawns here in Dorotar, so that is limited, but we will check out the loot table as well. Upon further inspection here, not a single one of the rares has any unique drops, only world zone drops. Well, that is disappointing. I was looking into some quill boar farming, both for pickpocketing and also clothes, but honestly, it's barely even worth testing this. Same goes for anything else I could find here in Dorotar. So I think the plan is to do a bit of mixed farming for ores and herbs, and then once we have gained some levels, go back and clear Scarlet Monastery or try that Scarlet pickpocketing route from the last episode while killing them. And then later on, I think we want to start our first alternative character, as I believe skinning and disenchanting could be a really good new steady income to have. But for now, let's get farming ores and herbs. Oh, I ended up running into Deathflayer after 11 minutes here, and I thought, why not? Let's kill him. It took me around 1 minute and 30 seconds, but he did drop a nice build. We might be able to sell that in the future. The hour is up, and we have a new high score in terms of gold per hour. 2,916 gold and 719 mixed materials. So fair to say that Dorotar is better than Tirisfal Glades for this kind of farming. And we also managed to get to level 38 in the process. Back in Tirisfal Glades, I completely had forgotten this zone actually has 2 time periods. And when we took the portal back, it's completely changed. Probably because of our level, it is now changed entirely. So that's kind of interesting for new farming opportunities maybe. But for now, let's move to the Scarlet Monastery. I am actually not 100% sure if our level is high enough with the changes from the Midnight expansion, because there was a squeeze, but we'll definitely go test the waters here. And alright, confirmed, things do die instantly in here, that is very good. So now we can figure out what drops in here that we might be after. All of the drops are world drops in terms of the big ticket items, and all of them are considered mega rares, which means they pretty much have less than 0.1% drop chance. I don't even think I'm showing you all of the possible items in here. There are likely more, and they really do range from like 20k all the way up to millions of gold in price. There is also another thing we are looking at here. As you can see, I have activated all the things. That is an add-on tracking pretty much everything in the game in terms of collecting things. And from in here, in the Scarlet Halls, where we are starting out, I am missing the tablet, and that would be a nice little side goal to collect, as it has a drop rate of around 1.3 according to Wowhead. After 11 minutes and into the 3rd run here, we got a decent item called the Head Splitter, likely worth around 500 gold, but also with a very slow sale rate, but not a bad start at all. Oh yeah, and a very small bonus, we also get a lot of new gear. We already replaced our starter daggers with some new sexy toys. Okay, so with 5 minutes left on the hour, we hit the instance lock. So we have done 10 instances in 55 minutes and collected 4,298 gold, That is very good, and 580 of those are raw gold, so I like the sound of that. There is only really one issue in here, and that is backspace. So I've been back to the auction house and also sold soulbound items twice at a merchant, but this is going to be a nice little side hustle where we can get a lot of different things in these instances. So while that instance lock is active, we might as well give the pickpocket farm a run for its money and see how it goes here at the Scarlet Watchtower. Well, how about that? A random shield drops and it's worth 1,000 gold. I'll take it. Right, so we are 10 minutes in here and not a single freight knot have dropped. And I'm also running this circuit so quickly, killing and pickpocketing, even with killing all of those that do not drop any of the freight knots. They do not respawn quickly enough for it actually to be working here. So I think this farm is going to be shelved. I took a bit of a break to wait for the instance logout, and I got this cool add-on to track it. Now we should be able to do another 10 runs in the instances. But this time we will be going to the other instance, the graveyard, to switch things up and see how this one is doing in comparison. And there we go, in and out, 54 minutes done, just shy of 4,000 gold. Obviously, no big ticket drops here, but still very good raw gold. The next day in Orgrimmar, we're putting up everything on auction house that didn't sell overnight. And we got a total of 104 items up now, worth 23,000 gold, but all of that is almost transmog and it's selling very slowly. But let's see how much we have actually sold and where our gold is at. Alright, so 3,106 gold in the mailbox, and we did start selling some of those items from the Scarlet Monastery, which is really nice to see, as I think that is some of our first transmog gear selling at all. So in total we have 4,652 gold, a little over halfway to the 8,000 gold toll for Dorotar. So what now? Well, I think it is time Deathtoll gets a new friend. And we will be going with a female hunter troll. It also makes the naming incredibly easy, as we're going with the name Trolltoll. Yeah, try say that 10 times fast. Which is the Scandinavian name for troll, as the English version was obviously taken. So the plan is very simple for her. Get as fast as possible to level 5 so we can unlock skinning and enchanting by doing some questing here. That was 2, 3, 4, and there we go. We are level 5. And of course, we are going to be picking up a raptor pit before we are leaving Echo Island here. And we are leaving by swimming straight for Dorotar, flying straight from Senjin Village to Razor Hill, which is where the profession trainer Runda is located, and we can get both skinning and enchanting right away from her. And this is where the fun really begins on our new alternative character. Here in the southern part of Dorotar, there is both balls and also a lot of scorpions that we can kill and skin. But I also decided to run a bit further north to try and kill some raptors and also some crocodiles to mix it up a bit. And the rare spawn Death Flare is also getting skinned, because why wouldn't I? And there we go. That is a full hour of farming, skinning and killing stuff, and we got to a bit of an inflated number here, 3,547 gold, which of course is mainly due to the 2 world drops with a very slow sale rate. So probably more like 600 or 700 gold per hour here. Though as a side note, if we look at something like this medium leather here, that is worth 6 gold alone right now. So in zones that does have skinning with medium leather, this might be a very, very viable way to gain some gold. But skinning, that is of course only the first part of Trolltoll making gold for us. The second part is disenchanting, and because of that, she will also be handling all of our transmog selling in the future, as there will be times where we simply decide to disenchant instead of trying to sell it for the 20th time or something like that, or things with low value or a very low sale rate, we will be disenchanting those. So with that alternative now ready to rumble, we can get back into the action on Deathtoll. And I think running more Scarlet Hall is the way to go, both for BOE greens to disenchant and also the transmog for the big ticket things, and because I really just like it. At least it is the most fun to farm so far. Okay, that was another 10 runs done and dusted, and I decided to just let the old recorder run, and I guess we'll be doing that for all the new farms too. And just look at the gold per hour here in the add-on instead, which is looking kind of okay, isn't it? This time around, we had 2 decent transmog drops, both worth around 1200 gold, and yes, this is not the entire haul, as I have already sold soul-bound items twice, and also sent BOE to Deathtoll twice in these 10 runs, so yeah, quite a bit of management as well. But I guess we should really be tracking this a bit differently in the add-on, as it was tracking poor quality too, which inflates things a bit with items that will never sell. So instead, let's go with common and a minimum value of 2 gold, though the other items will be counted, they will just be counted as raw gold instead now. Back at Deathtoll in Orgrimmar, she is turning all of those BOE items that aren't worth much into something that is actually worth something. Some she will be leveling up enchanting with, and some stuff will probably just be sold. But as you can see here, not much is surviving. Basically anything with a 0.010 sell rate and also below 20 gold in value is likely going to be worth more just disenchanting, and that will sell a lot faster, and there is a good chance of it becoming a greater Eternal Essence, which is the best thing we can get here. So with another small break, we should be able to come back to Scarlet Halls and do another 10 or so runs now. And there we are, another 10 runs are done and dusted, and yeah, look at that, we sold a recipe for 950 gold just now. So the gold per hour it's still looking quite good, but it is dipping down now, probably not quite 6,100 per hour either. Unfortunately, no items of note except 2 recipes, and we might want to start saving them and checking if some of them are worth saving for flipping with professions on new alternatives later on. Yeah, so we are actually getting pretty close to being able to pay the toll now, so let's check what is in our mailbox. And remember, we do have 2 characters posting things on Auction House now, so that does mean 2 openings. Oh, okay, never mind. We have just enough on Deathtoll. That is lovely. And you know what that means? It means we can run into our Warband, where we also have some other stuff stored now. Some BOE for Deathtoll to deal with and a few recipes, but the important thing is that we can now pay the toll for Durotar. And to be honest, Durotar was a bit of a bust in terms of gold farming, but yeah, likely to no one's surprise. So, next episode, we are going to be adding some new zones to the wheel. North Barrens, of course, is gonna be there. And because of Orgrimmar as a transit hub, we also will have a Shara available on the wheel. Actually, there is gonna be plenty of new options, it seems, as Mulgora also opens up through the Zeppelin to Thunderbluff. So, Boron Tundra is also open with the Zeppelin. That would be a really tough one in terms of the gold toll, so I don't hope it lands on that one yet. I really haven't thought this through with the Zeppelins, and now when I look into it, because Dragon Isles with the zone The Walking Shores is also opening up as an option. Oh boy, what have I done? I have never been to that zone before. Stranglethorn Vale, of course, it's still also an option with the Zeppelin. Holy moly, I didn't even know this, and I was just double checking now. There is one more opening up since we do have Ego Islands unlocked too. The ship to Zuldasar is yet another route out of here. Wow, I did not know that when we were rolling Durotar in the last episode. I hadn't thought this through at all. And of course, Western Plaguelands from last time is also still on the table, and last but not least, Silver Pine Forest. And honestly, I don't even know which of all of these zones I want or wish to avoid. This really threw me off. There are likely some of them better than others, but we'll see about that. I was even pondering about excluding all those non-classic content until we had it all completed out of those zones, but actually, having random high toll pop up might make this a whole lot more challenging, as we need a much longer grind in those zones, and we also don't have a massive stockpile of transmog to just get lucky with. But it also opens up the question, what about those expansions with only portals toward them, such as Pandaria? How do we get to those? I might need to figure something out around that in the future. Well, I might have the solution already in the next episode. But for now, I hope you have enjoyed the content, and I will see you in the next one.